Hello everyone, this is Suzanne Light. We're going to try this today and see if it works. I've been struggling with upper respiratory infection this week. I actually had taken the week off for spring break, and so far I've been to the doctor twice in 3 days. So we're going to try this and see how it works. This is a journal that I did from March. Excuse me, I'm recording with my iPad. Now, I need to turn with this hand, and I've got this lovely contraption on there. Maybe it won't be too distraction, but that's 2 broken fingers right there also where I fell a couple of weeks ago. But we won't bore you with those details. This is a journal that I did from March, April, and May of 2013. I kept holding off because I was going to cover the front and maybe Mod Podge and do a lot of different designs on it, and I never got around to it. And as you can see, it turned out really thick, really thick. I put a lot of stuff in it. But I'll probably have to do this in 2 different parts, but I wanted to share with you. I'm trying to get more of my journals online to share with you. As I've said in some of my other videos, I'm glad that I have found a group of people that like to just journal and not putting down any of the journals that people make, but some of them are so gorgeous that I don't see room to even write unless it's on little cards, and I don't really get into that because you're going to see from this that when I write a lot, and I do a lot of pictures, and I do a lot of smashing and that kind of stuff. So I guess I just want a good journal that I can just put everything into. Don't get me wrong, I love those beautiful journals that a lot of people make. I have told Marianne Kensington, who is a big inspiration to me. I've mentioned her before on other journals, but she does tea-dye pages, which are absolutely to die for, and I've seen other people do that. So that is going to be a project that I actually learn how to make my journals with a Copic stitch and all that. But I'm hoping to retire here in the next year or so. So that's going to be the things that I'm going to try when I retire. Right now it's work, 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 and sit at night and journal. So I want to start on this because I don't want to make it too absolutely long and just so boring. And please forgive the broken fingers, but it's hard to turn with the other page. Just started on this. It started in March of 2013. Just put some pictures. I guess this was probably one of my favorite pictures of my daughter when she was pregnant, just laying there so pretty with that big old pretty belly. I found this sticker that said kicking like crazy, and that was our baby Rhett in his mommy's belly, getting ready to come out real soon, as you will see in this journal. I, like a lot of you, have found that I really just like to write. And when I write things down, it's so interesting even just a year later to go back and see how things have changed, how things have progressed. It's amazing, too, that when I put pictures down, just even going back a year later to my oldest grandson, seeing how much he has changed in a year. Receipts, sometimes I put it in there. Sometimes just things that I find that I like, different spiritual things, I will put in there, and then I will actually write down my prayers for things that I find. This is a song that we sing in our church, Whom Shall I Fear? He's the God of angel armies. And those words just spoke to me so much that I just found them and print them out. Because it says, you hear me when I call, you are my morning song. Though darkness fills the night, it cannot hide the light. Whom shall I fear? You crush the enemy underneath my feet. You are my sword and shield. Though troubles linger still, whom shall I fear? I know who goes before me, and I know who stands behind me. The God of angel armies is always by my side. Boy, that's some powerful words right there, that you've always got the God of our angel armies by your side. I keep an ongoing active prayer list in my books. I like to do a lot of collaging. I love you a bushel and a peck. I don't know if you know that old song, but that's one of mine and my grandson's favorite song, and also You Are My Sunshine. I love to sing that. What I started doing this year, I started reading the Bible through chronologically, or what I thought I was calling chronologically from beginning to end. And I learned later that's not really a chronological reading because the Bible skips around. I was kind of a little in a funk about that after I just started that. But I'm going to keep up with what I'm doing and just going through. Now, let me just tell you, the Old Testament is boring to me. And if I don't mean that in a bad way, but a lot of history. But gosh, when you get into the Kings and you get into Leviticus and all the rules and laws and everything, boring. What I do is I use Bible Gateway and I use the audio Bible portion and I let it read to me. And then I go down at the side of my Bibles. I have the Quest Bible, which is a study Bible. Then I go down each side of it and read the study portion, which makes it a little bit more interesting. So what you're going to see here is, I don't know what I failed to do on that page, but this is just journaling. But you saw where I started in Genesis. What does Genesis mean to me? And I started out doing a synopsis of every chapter. Well, that's pretty intense. And I actually found a guy on the internet that is tweeting. He may be through by now, but he is actually tweeting every day a definition of one chapter of the book of the Bible all the way through. So I actually have been writing some of his to keep from reinventing the wheel, but that's only after I have read through the whole book of the Bible. So as you can see, I take a lot of time here, but I am learning so much. This is Easter, and my mother's birthday is real close to that time. And as you can see, we're very close here to our next grandson being born. This is just Easter at our house. And Genesis, and I'd printed out some pictures of the ark. Then we get into Exodus. And what I do in this Bible, it tells a little bit about the chapter, who wrote it, when, what was the historical setting, and Exodus includes the different phases through it. So this is just good for me. This is just good. When I write, I remember. Just journaling. What does Exodus mean to me? This is my trip to Washington last March. I have some friends there that's in the pictures. I don't think they'll care for being on here with me, but my friends from the University of Arkansas. It's just a great trip. It was really a nice trip, very informative. And, of course, I got DC cupcakes from Georgetown before I left. Brought back the menus from there, all the different cupcakes. Oh my gosh, there is every flavor you can imagine. And there it tells you on what days you can get what flavors. I am a cupcake freak. And I stayed at the Churchill Hotel, which is right across the street. I usually stay at the one across the street. It's actually the one where President Reagan was shot. But I got into the conference late, and so I stayed at the Churchill, which was wonderful. It's right there. Okay, Exodus. This is just some of my business cards, just different things that I cut out from Pinterest. And then a card from a professional staff member that works with the United States Senate. Some ladies and I made a trip to Capitol Hill to meet with some senators, and one congressman met with their staff with the federal programs that I work with. Leviticus, just journaling, my sweet baby boy. I like to use stickers. My favorite shows, Downton Abbey, love it, love it, love it, Revenge. And I'll have to add to that now, Scandal. And my boy was on a Toy Story kick, so I found these real cute puffed stickers for Toy Story. Ever since he's been a little bitty fella, he holds one particular toy in his hand. It has been Lightning McQueen since he was probably about a year old. Then we went through a Jessie stage, and then we went back to Lightning McQueen. And currently we're on Mr. Peabody because that's the current movie that's out right now. Leviticus. Numbers. You say, gosh, that's a lot of writing. It is, but it's really neat to go back because it gives you a synopsis of the chapter. It's just a good way to study for me. This is just some of my things that I had while I was in DC, my airline tickets. I'm very blessed with my job to be able to travel a good bit. I've got to go to a lot of great places traveling. This is my son-in-law's cousin, their tool and gadget party. This is my sweetie of a daughter, just adorable at 9 months pregnant. Very close there to having our second grandson. And awaiting his arrival so we can have the wedding very shortly afterwards. I love the e-cards. They own me. This is hilarious. I'm afraid I can't go. I've already taken off my bra, so I'm in for the night. Gosh, how true is that? My favorite time of the evening is coming home, putting on my PJs, and taking my bra off. Sorry if that's TMI for some of you, but I think the older you get, the more important it is to come home and take your bra off. Love it. So then we had a diaper shower for my beautiful pregnant daughter with some of her dear friends, and this is her cousin. This is our little baby girl that was born into our family this past year. Then we get into numbers, and I thought that was really neat. I had some of this down here with all the different numbers to put on there. And then a lot of pictures of the things that she got, a lot of monogram. It was supposed to have been a diaper shower, but of course there were other things, and me, the grandmother here, had to go monogram crazy. We're from the South. We love everything monogrammed. I think that's a joke, but it's the truth. And there she is. And there we are. I am so proud of this girl. Geez, what I may not have done everything right in life, but I did right when I had this sweetheart and raised her to be so good. Journaling here. And this particular night, Little Big Town won the Video of the Year and Vocal Group of the Year with the Country Music Awards. And this young man right here is Jimmy Westbrook, and he was raised in our church. He is from our hometown, and I've got videos of him singing in our youth choir as a young man. Comes from a very, very talented musical family, but we're so proud of them. And this was the invitation for my daughter's shower. More journaling. And we're into numbers still. Just different things. Spark, I love Advocare. I sell it. It's a great product. This is Rick Warren that wrote The Purpose-Driven Life. So sad to hear that his son had committed suicide. I went through this, it's been 3 years ago now, with my sister, and my heart goes out so much to people who are going through this. But you have to hold on to God's promises during these times. It was the most difficult walk of my life, and I still struggle with it. So I have a lot of sympathy and empathy with people going through these situations. You cannot take it lightly. Deuteronomy. Just journaling. A lot of underlining. We went to get our taxes filled out, and there were some things that I was writing while we were in there. It just made me so mad. Excuse the cough and the shaking of the iPad. Sorry. Here's a letter from Richard Shelby's office, our state senator, where we went and visited, and he sent us a letter and thanked us for visiting. Collage page. You know, we just think that we're not worthy enough, and look at these people in the Bible that God really used, and they had inabilities about them. And I like the last one. Lazarus was even dead, and God raised him up from the dead. So when we think that we are less than, God's got a plan. I mean, he can use us. We just got to be an open vessel. I am a Tabasco sniffer, I confess.